Good afternoon, Trump family. Welcome to Open Source News. Have a good day and God bless you. Alright, the following is a collection of news from Patriots. Let's get into the news this morning. Florida is an absolute blowout. It is a GOP tsunami blowout. The Republicans are crushing the Democrats. We're still waiting on an official call there, but gang, I've seen enough, as they say. This wasn't even a contest. The dam broke and Republicans are taking over some of the bluest of blue counties. In Florida, Republicans are crushing the Democrats in Duval County and Hillsborough County, and Miami-Dade County, as we said they would in Pinellas County. It looks like even Broward County may co-read freaking Broward County. This is an absolute bloodbath. It's being reported that DeSantis won Miami-Dade mail-in vote, which is generally Democrat. Mail-in votes in generally Democrat. He won the mail-in vote 54 to 46% by nearly 10 points. Rubio won at 43 to 46%. This is nothing short of a political realignment going on. You remember, Miami-Dade was one of the most reliably blue counties in the country. 70% Latino, they voted for Hillary by 30 points in 2016. 4 years later, in 2020, we saw some gain here. Trump lost by only 7. And now in 2022. In the mail-in vote and early voting, the trends that we've been seeing all throughout the day today, the Republicans are conquering this blue county. And to add insult to injury, you ready for this? Charlie Crist, the Democrat gubernatorial candidate, if you want to even call him that at this point. He even lost his own congressional seat. He was Florida's 13th district representative. He gave up the seat to run for governor and the seat flipped. It's going Republican. Anna Paulina Luna is going to take that seat away from the Democrats. So not only is Chris getting embarrassed in this gubernatorial landslide, he's also lost his own congressional seat in the process. It is a total defeat. And this really is, I'm not kidding here. This really is a political realignment in Florida, political realignment that's happening all over the country, but most particularly in under the masterful guise of Ron DeSantis. In the end, Latinos, many Democrats, the majority of independents, white working-class voters, white suburban women, they are all overwhelmingly voting for DeSantis because in the end, he stood up against the insanity of the woke left. We always have to remember that woke politics splits the left and unites the right. But we have studies that show that woke politics splits the left and unites the right. This was Glenn Youngkin's strategy in Virginia that he used masterfully to win the gubernatorial election there. He pushed CRT, he pushed transgender athletes, because he knew it forced McAuliffe to defend those issues, that actually ended up splitting his base while uniting young kids' base. Every woke issue out there gets more or less a 50-50 split of Democrat support. So you talk about whatever it is, CRT, biological males competing and women's, whatever it happens to be, you'll find that only about 50% of Democrats support it, 50% of Democrats are against it, right? Just think of someone like Bill Maher, for example, or Piers Morgan. Even to a certain extent Elon Musk would have considered so part of the left until they went woke. Wokeism turns off. We have to remember turns off the left tremendously, but at the same time, it's only turning off about half the left. So 50% of the left support. 50% don't. Whereas if you ask Republicans, if you ask the right, do you support any particular woke issue? Nearly 100% say hell no. No way. So what does that mean? It means that Republicans are far more likely to vote against wokeism than the left is to vote for it. So this is the DeSantis strategy. This is what DeSantis has been doing ever since he took office, whether it was banning CRT from floor, was classrooms, standing up to the insane, the utterly insane LGBT radicalism of Disney, stripping Disney of its special tax status in Orlando, standing up on behalf of female athletes at the collegiate level, even taking on election integrity reform with appointing a special election police force. DeSantis from the very beginning made the culture wars the centerpiece of his governorship, and look at the result. Look at what is happening to Florida. Now Florida is emphatically not a purple state anymore. There is no way you can look at these results and call Florida a swing state. It's not even remotely a purple state. It is officially a solid red ultra-MAGA anti-woke asylum. It's an official hardcore deep red sanctuary state. It's gonna make it very, very hard for Democrats to win the White House again. having lost that many electoral votes for the foreseeable future. So well done, Governor Ron DeSantis, for showing every Republican across the nation how to get it done. And then, this is some big news, the reports are now coming in on turnout today. And it's absolutely huge. It's blowing away any and all expectations for a midterm election. Now we knew that Republican-leaning independents, were by and large waiting to come out on Election Day. The Democrats generally had a pretty significant advantage in the early voting and mail-ins. Republicans traditionally don't like voting by mail. And so the question on pollsters' minds leading up to today was, how big was the Republican margin going to be on Election Day? Are we going to be looking at a Republican +4 electorate, a Republican +5? And what they did is they adjusted their predictions according to that projected turnout. And if the reports that we've been getting as of today are an accurate indicator, the turnout is massive. This is a picture from Harris County, Georgia, where Herschel Walker, of course, is on the ballot for the Georgia Senate race. Reports are that the wait time in line was 15 to 20 minutes as of 7:20. This morning, again, a huge line for midterm election. Reports are that in Woodstock, Georgia, it was a 45-minute line. Eastcom, Georgia is reporting a 40-minute line. These are huge numbers in terms of midterm turnout. This is from Minnesota, where Republican Scott Jensen is running for governor just after the doors open up this morning. Good, see, it was an absolutely jam-packed. Here are the lines in deep red. Franklin, Tennessee. Election Wizard is reporting that Republicans currently hold a near 8,000 vote lead in ballots cast thus far in one of the single most blue counties in the nation, of course, that is Miami-Dade, Florida. So votes cast include vote by mail, early voting and Election Day voting thus far. So if Miami-Dade turns red, we're looking at a new political order here. Again, it's like Baltimore County, turning red. This is beyond unfathomable for Democrats in terms of what kind of devastating loss that would be now. Unfortunately, given this massive turnout, there are all kinds of. This is from New Jersey, where it's being reported by a local affiliate of ABC News, that all voting machines are down in each district across Mercer County. This according to officials there. They're stating that the voters can still vote using a standard ballot at their polling locations, but they're clearly having issues with the equipment there. The same thing is happening in spades. In the all-important Maricopa County, Arizona, take a look, everyone listen to this. What happens? We have two tabulators. One of the tabulators is not working. Okay. The other tabulator's taking about 75% successful. So 25% of them are being misread. And it couldn't be a printer issue. Or it couldn't be the tabulator itself. So when it's misread, you have an option to put it into what's called box 3, and it gets read whether it goes downtown and gets read manually, or whether it gets refunded into our tabular adjudicate get read. So no one's trying to deceive anyone. No, of course not on Election Day, that would never happen right now. It would never happen. Okay folks, in fact, it's even worse than that. The chairman of Maricopa County Board of Supervisors said earlier today that upwards of 20% of voting centers, 20%, are having issues with your tabulators. Now he did say they were working to fix the issues and they do have a backup, but the issues are not fixed. And that any interruption should be minimal. But gang, I mean, seriously, what do you say to this? You literally had 2 freaking years to prepare. What is it with this third world nonsense, particularly coming out of Maricopa County? It seems like every single election, we got issues with Arizona. I just don't understand it. But it's beyond credulity at this point. So yes, this massive turnout is not without its glitches, but that turnout is precisely what we needed. And that turnout appears to be bigger than we could have imagined for a midterm election. That's all very, very good news. And I got some really cool stats to share with you today. Tom Bevin, the founder of Real Clear Politics, just tweeted out a fascinating stat. Since 1934, the average in-party midterm loss sets the party that currently has the White House has been 28 seats in the House and 4 seats in the Senate. So this is the average since 1934. And then he adds, I have yet to hear a convincing argument for why Democrats will do significantly better than average this year, especially taking into account 8%, inflation and Biden approval and low 40s. I think low 40s is being incredibly generous. But Bevin is corroborating a Gallup average. Gallup polling has tracked for decades how when a president is underwater, that's under 50% approval, we can expect to see a loss of an average of 37 seats in the House for the president's party. And so this is what we appear to be seeing right now, right before our very eyes, with this massive turnout across the country. And the law says that the current sitting president is going to suffer is, of course, inextricably linked to the size of the Republican electorate. But going into today, all the models reflect the notion that the bigger the midterm turnout, the bigger the Republican advantage. So now the only question is, are we looking at a Republican +3, +4, +5, +6 electorate? That's where we're waiting to hear from with the exit polling that will be coming out later today. In the meantime, you probably heard, but Elon Musk has come out and given his support for the GOP. He's urging everyone to get out there and vote Republican. Yes, his reason for doing so is rather silly: advocated divided government. So we've got a Democrat for president, so that means we need Republicans taking over Congress. Yeah, look, Musk is gonna find out very, very soon that he is enemy number one among Democrats. He'll learn that eventually, but hey, an endorsement's an endorsement, and we'll take it all right. So gang, let's do this again. Today is our day. It is our movement. Get out there. Get your friends out there and vote. Don't be complacent. Let's together make today one of the most amazing elections ever. Thank you very much. WWG1WGA. Give me your thoughts below and hit subscribe.